Okay, so the next thing I'm going to show you is a service called News Republic. The first thing I'm going to show you is how to actually get it onto your device. Again, this is something which is optimized for mobile devices, given that in Hong Kong nobody really stays still. So, first thing to do is to go to the store and just simply type in, spell it right, News Republic, and then there's some magic for you, Andrew. News Republic appeared first of all.
Cool.
And you got a choice out of News Republic for mobile phone, top left, News Republic for tablet, middle. As I've got a tablet, I installed the mobile phone version, and it was a joke. So, the first thing is, now the difference here between what we saw before in Google Currents and this News Republic is Google Currents organize everything on the first page by source, so TechCrunch, Kotaku, things like that. Here it's by genre of news, which for a casual, content consumer is perhaps more user-friendly. So you can go through top news, all news, photographic, video news, business, celebrities. Apparently Will Smith is popular again, or you can look at the news stream of what's currently taking people's interest down the left-hand side by scrolling up and down. People still talking about Bin Laden. I thought he was gone. Apparently he's not. So if we tap on the business tab, again, you'll see a whole stream of news, which is again specifically related to the business. Stocks down again, so somebody's shorting stocks. Abu Dhabi. Oh, this is all very pleasant stuff. Oh, here we go. And so you can click on a news about Royal Mail to set their own stamp prices, as if the rest of the world cares. And who cares?
That's why you should move to Hong Kong.
Okay, you stay right there. Okay. And again, you can react to it, which is they obviously, for some reason on this version you can't say don't care in the slightest, but astonished, pleased, indifferent, worried, or sorry. Okay, so I'm very sorry to hear that.
I quite like that. I quite like the fact that you don't have to press like.
Yeah, you don't have to press like. Well, I mean, in Facebook as an example, you can like it or just lump it, like it or lump it, basically. So, and then you can save the news story for offline reading, and you can share it with friends and say, "Can you believe this craziness?" Share it again with a lot of popular networks. So for some reason, it wants to share it with my translation tool. I think it might crash my tablet if I do that. And just to go up to the back to the main page again. It is my news, apparently. One of the slight disadvantages of this tool is every time you load it again, it does like to refresh everything, so you have to wait a little bit. So if you're impatient, it might not be the one for you. So you can add topics. So if somebody give me a topic and I'm going to search for it, we're going to do a live demonstration right now. Anybody give me a topic? Will Smith. He's already in celebrity. Oh, we've got 10 news stories. So, this topic has been added. Now I can read all I want about Will Smith. Thank you. Who said that?
How about CK?
Yeah. Thanks. So.
Yeah, CK London.
Yes.
Is that C.K?
CY.
CY. No topics. Is that a good thing? I think I've either spelt it wrong or it's blocked. Leung. Yeah, that's what I did. Let me just go for the surname.
Yeah.
Or if you put Leung Hong Kong, that'll come up surely.
Yeah.
Chen Ying, right? Okay, we're going into some very controversial territory now. So, 12 stories about him.
More than Will Smith.
More than Will Smith. So I didn't press the refresh button though. Will Smith might be more popular after the refresh. Okay, so and then so again you got 12 stories all based around the keyword, which makes this quite nice if you want to focus on, for example, 1 month specific news stories, the next month a different one. You can switch in and out of particular topics which are relevant to what you're doing. Yeah, so what's happening here is you're essentially having topics, and then daily, or as some of these news sources refresh themselves, they're presented to you with the latest ones. As I've installed this brand new today to demonstrate how it works, you can see by some of the news stories are in the thousands that I haven't read, and I have no intention of going through the 4,000 old news or the 418 videos, although Liam Neeson is interesting.
So what is very interesting about this is that this is quality. Well, okay, quality sourced news, as opposed to just me blogging about what I feel about Will Smith. Sure,
this is professional news sources, and you're essentially harvesting them by topic. So in this case, we've searched for Will Smith. Thank you for that, and then also CY Leung as well, and we've brought currently the most popular topics available on those two subjects. And again, here just to show you, it's got video news. So popular news video channels. You can simply go through here and take a look. Oh, and I've even got a story about pink slime, which is fantastic. Does anybody, given you can't unsee this. If anybody doesn't know,
it's fake.
Pink slime is essentially probably what's in most of the meat we eat on a daily basis.
It's not real.
It's not real?
No.
You sure? It
That's
says,
the whole thing.
You must not have gotten that story.
Listen,
You didn't get the memo.
It's in the news. It has to be true, okay? So anyway, for video news alone, this is a very attractive interface. You can take a look at all the video news, and then I'll find something that's not controversial or depressing. Pakistan, farmers become bankers. That's a good industry change if there was one, and it's out of memory. Sure, I think the Wi-Fi is not playing nice for videos, but anyway, that's a very simple guide to News Republic, and that's available on multiple devices, except BlackBerry again, because for some reason BlackBerry doesn't like apps, and hopefully one day. So in fact, here's a good story. You can add topics that have BlackBerry apps. See, there's 3 stories on BlackBerry and apps. So Will Smith is more popular than BlackBerry apps. So it's fair. So there you go. So that's again. And if you see, contrasting to Google Currents, and this maybe on the very first look similar. But again, we're talking about separating news by the news source, and here by the news topic itself. So we had New York Times, we had TechCrunch, and different news sources like that. On this one, you can consume the information by the topics the topics and genres which are critical to you. So again, think about that. If you use this in the future, and then there's trending information you need to be kept up to date about, you can harvest and harness the information according to that. So I think quite useful in that regard.
Sorry, do you mind if I ask a question? So do these aggregators have relationships with certain news publication sites, like say for example like PR Newswire or whatever?
Sure.
Is that how they fund themselves, or how do they?
Well,
how does it work?
If you take that service for Apple called Flipboard, which I've never used, they illegally harvested information in the early days. I don't know whether they've changed the status at all. Where essentially they would, as they called it, curate information. Just like most people, essentially what they're doing is taking these news sources, making them into a very aesthetically pleasing format, but ultimately without the permission of the source. In this case, just like Google Currents, most of this news is publicly made available, and then it's available for example, for me to create a service where I can bundle it together tailored towards a specific consumption methodology, right? But ultimately, it's up to me how we package that together. So if I'm a newspaper, I can make that available to anybody in this room, and then we can decide how to format that. And we've seen two different examples of how that works. In most cases, this information is gathered legally, but there are some examples where, for example, Flipboard in the early days, the news just wasn't formatted in that way, so they curated it, so which was to take the content, re-edit it all, and then package it for the application. I think as it was made as a free service, there was less issues, but if they monetized it, then the lawyers would have got their knife and fork out. Any more? Switch.
Right. Time to look at Flipboard. How does this work? There we are. So, there. So this is Flipboard. So Flipboard is quite a nice app. You can come around a little bit further. Oh, you can drag it. Oh, that's
Cable.
out. Oh, hold on. It's gone out of kills. Yeah, so Flipboard has some people on the front of it. This is sort of like a summary of all the available stories that are shown on the front. It's quite nice. It sort of just keeps going round and round and round forever. And to go on to the next bit, you just flip it. What was that? A spaghetti? Oh no.
Go on.
Something else. Anyway, so on the front, it's quite nice. It's got a tiled view where you can look at various covers. I'm pretty certain it's still partially curated. I don't know how else they can actually get around this unless they get the publishers to actually format the content properly. So we've got some cover stories. We go into that, if it'll actually work, or it'll crash. Oh no, it's working. And we've got some sort of spaghetti monster, or cucumber monster. Some sort of. So when you click on a story, it sort of zooms in, and you can look at the image. You might be able to save it. Oh, no, apparently not. And it's got some really annoying adverts on the bottom. You can go back either by pressing on the top left corner, and again you can keep on flipping through, looking at various bits and pieces. This is a lot from some boring IT stuff, programming. We can find some really interesting things here, maybe.
Can you search that?
Oh, here we go. Somebody made a calculator in Minecraft. I'm not too sure if you can search. Let's have a look. Maybe. Oh yeah, you can search. What we can search for? What are we just going to search for?
Not Will Smith.
Not Will Smith.
Put in Will Smith. See what
Here's some popular. Here's some popular. Barack Obama's popular.
How about Muclair?
Well, what is that?
Barack Obama.
M-U-C-L-A-I-R.
M-U-C-L-A-R. Muclair.
A-I-R.
A-I-R. Muclair, as in like an eclair. But not. There you go. Okay, we're searching. Aha! So we've got lots of things. We've got a bunch of Twitter things. So Top Hits gives us some Twitter. We've got some RSS feeds, which have some stuff that may or may not have anything to do with Mulclair. Twitter. You've got lots of, over 100 results of you got a better...
I got my finger on the pulse, man.
What, of boredom. Okay.
He's the new leader of the opposition in Canada. Just won over the weekend.
Ah. We'll see if we can get anything for our friend CY. They can get better results than you.
Really?
I don't know. We'll find out. Let's see. Come on. It takes time. 3G is defeating us today.
What's interesting is it's coming up by feed.
Yes. So it gives us top hits, and then it breaks it down into Twitter, RSS, Facebook, Flickr, whatever the hell 500px
So is
is.
that better?
I mean, it's
Do you think
different.
that's better?
I think it's very different because I think that I'm more
You don't
likely.
really care the feed.
I do care about the feed. I'm more likely to trust a news feed from a reputable source than a Twitter feed, for example.
Okay, so yeah, we can obviously search for stuff. We might even be able to do. The question is, yeah.
Can you just move the microphone? Turn it on.
How about that? There you go. Okay, so how do we add stuff to this? It's a very good question. I can't actually remember how you add stuff. Okay, so one of the things you can do is you can actually integrate direct. You used to be able to add stuff, but I can add in my Facebook, so all my exciting non-friends on. Oh, go away. And if I was to allow it to access Twitter, then by the power of stuff, it'll access my Twitter feed. So it can hook in with whatever else. That looks pretty scary. So it can give you some quite nice content, whatever he's doing, without too much trouble. And it's sort of magazine-like. It's sort of a bit fancy, and yeah, occasionally there's some interesting stuff going on in here. So it has access to The Economist, and you can look through The Economist and keep going and say, oh, look at some Mormonism with an Etch-a-Sketcher.
You can also tell it your interests, and then it'll aggregate according to your interest.
Ooh.
I discovered that.
That's clever. That's clever. And you can also look at older stuff at the bottom, so it can go back all the way.
Can you just repeat what Catherine said so people in the back can hear?
So it can learn from what you like. It can basically get more interested in your interests. There's also an account which I don't actually have, which might be part of that. But as you give more information to it about your interests, it finds new data, new stories that can better fit your interests. Preferences, exactly. Yes, preferences. What else can we find in here? And of course, when you click on a story, when it responds, you can Twitter about it. So I can Twitter about it. I can email it. I can refresh it. I can share a link, read it, save it, flag as inappropriate. What else is there?
We don't
Yeah, so
necessarily have to look very
ask any questions? No? It's your turn.
Well, okay.
Again. Last one.
Okay, I'm back. So, the first thing I showed you was Google Currents, where it organized news by source. The second one was News Republic, where you could organize news by genre, by topic. What I'm showing you next is a service called Tap2, T-A-P-T-U, or it could be pronounced differently. But anyway, I'm calling it Tap2. But the whole idea is it's supposed to be what news is being socially shared right now, in terms of what are the news stories which are getting interest from people in the social networks and from people who are reading through search engines and things like that. So, yep. So, on the top line here, you can see what are the top news stories, and on the top, just above the picture, it has the news source here. It's very small, but if you look, from where I am, it's quite clear. The Huffington Post, as an example, Ars Technica, and then also I can find news that are coming in from Facebook. So I'll do that. Don't look at my password. Yeah. We have some elevator music. It's very personal to me, my password. If I can remember what it is.
Is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
No, I think it's. There's a 6 in there somewhere. No, actually, the problem is it's a very, very long one.
6-figure salary.
Is that in commas?
You read my letter to Santa Claus. Okay, so let's take a look. Okay, so it's loading Facebook. Hopefully nothing's posted anything rude on my Facebook. So again, all the latest news on Facebook is available. So that's integrated. So Andrew, we got something from you here as well.
Awesome.
What is it?
CanCham?
Yeah, it is. It's CanCham.
Oh, this is awesome. Is it going to work on the device?
Nope.
Damn
5 million pixels, but it doesn't work with tablets apparently.
it. 5 gigapixels.
Gigapixels, yeah. Because I'm an Android device, it recognizes that and is providing information that's relevant to my device in terms of Android, and some other news sources such as the Huffington Post. And then again, I can connect to Twitter, but I'm not very active on Twitter, so I'm going to have about 3 stories there. I can add news sources, find a stream, and this is organized again more by source, but I'm going to try and break that and see if we can get any more on Will Smith. And this is available for most devices, again, not BlackBerry, for some reason. Although, rumor has it the latest BlackBerry devices will be able to use Android apps either right now or any day now. No, doesn't like Will Smith, so I'm going to follow his instructions. CNN.
How about Jeremy Lin?
Jeremy Lin. That was a good one. You should have said that on News Republic, where I would have got hundreds of stories for him.
Try to move clear. He's fine.
No, we tried that last time. Time out. I think we got
Some network problems.
yeah, network problems. Either that or Jeremy Lin is just so popular that I can't get him. So I'm going to go back to CNN. Let's see if it comes back with anything. Experiencing technical difficulties. In any case, when you have no network problems, this is how you would add a news source. And again, you can search by topics, or you can even go with Google Reader, something that Roland was talking about earlier with his content app. And the DJ section here is when you can share stories with the community and essentially become responsible for what news is becoming more popular. So stories that you, again, not unlike what I showed before when you're sharing stories with people on your network, but in this case it's just positioned a little bit differently. You're curating the news and then sharing it with people on your network.
So what does that mean? You're just increasing the readership?
Yeah, I mean, essentially, what you're seeing when you're curating and sharing news is you will see, if you're influential, which in my case I'm not, you will see the news stories on the most shared change the ones that you're active with. I can guarantee I would never share the story about Andrex's success with toilet paper. I mean, you know, it brings me to another point: is who shares these stories? I mean, you know, I can't think of anybody I know who I would be dying to share about Andrex's new green toilet paper initiative.
Well, you never know. It might have come from Lame Duck.
Yeah. Yeah, it may well have come with Lame Book. And then, this is something I would share, you know, an Android tablet at less than $40. And it's made in India. What a surprise.
Does it work?
I think, you know, sometimes it works. That's what I'm getting here. And again, you can share it with Facebook, with Twitter, LinkedIn, Google+, Mail. There's an eye here. I'm not familiar with that one.
So how universal are these shared? For example, let's talk China.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems that quite a lot of these the shareability of these is great if you're in America or the Western world, where Facebook, Twitter might be the preference. But what about China? Hello, China.
You didn't just play the China card, did you? Okay.
Well, I'm just curious.
Well, I mean, there's nothing nothing to stop me from sharing news with yourself, even if you're in China. I mean, obviously you won't be able to get it through Facebook or Twitter, but most of these services provide functions to use email. So, for example, I can email the link to the story to you, and then you can go through to the main source. Again, if it's blocked, that source, then it doesn't change much. But it's predominantly social networks in China which are blocked, and other news sources like CNN. But I mean, you can still share some of this stuff via email as well. Yeah. But then, of course, don't forget that in some of these services, for example, if I'm active in mainland China and so are you, some of my news stories will be curated from mainland sources as well. Here I'm demonstrating just publicly available sources that everybody knows and recognizes, right? You know, if this was, for example, talking about mainland sources, then it'd be a lot easier to share that, and that would be specifically focused towards mainland China, right?
Yeah.